definitely high visibility. Google loves video. Somebody says maps. So Patrick Taylor, let me show you an example, brother. Albany, New York, mobile dent repair. So, well, let's just do Albany. See if it'll come up. Yes. So this, for example, is Google Maps, right? This little 3-pack is called the snack pack or the 3-pack. It used to be the 7-pack. So the reason that we specifically go after Google Maps is because this is what you see first, right? I mean, you guys see, like, I'm using a MacBook Air right now, and all of my screen, all that you guys can see when you type in a search inside of Google on your desktop or your laptop, all that you can see is the map pack. You don't even see the organic spots, right? Where are the organics? Right? You can barely even see them, right? You got to scroll down, right? And then you see video and it starts to get your attention. Okay? So I focus on video first and foremost because I can get results very, very quickly. And then second, I focus on Google Maps because nothing's going to drive me more volume for a better return on the investment than Google Maps. Okay? I'll even give you guys this little tidbit. I've been a hardcore SEO for a long time. I've ranked for ridiculously competitive keywords like fat loss. Ranked the company number 2 for fat loss. Ranked the company number 1 for the keyword watches, right? And I can tell you guys that nothing is as easy as video and Google Maps, right? And that's why I exploit it all day, every day, okay? So let's jump back over here into the presentation. Well, before we do, I want you guys to know that this site right here is actually a student of ours who just hit me up actually today inside of Slack, our community that we have, and telling me basically he just ranked this site and it just came into the 3-pack, and so he wanted to share with me the results that he got. So cool little case study right there that I just found out about today. So cool, guys. At the end, I'm going to share a little method at the end of the presentation to help you guys make your next sale super, super easy, right? And what I mean by that is to pull in a $750 to $1,500 a month client, even if you have like jack shit for experience with sales. Okay? My only condition is you guys have to stay super engaged with me, pay attention, interact with me. I don't like lectures. I like interacting with a group of people. Does that sound cool? Is that good? Can I get a 3 in the chat? Everybody can agree with that. I'll over-deliver and push you guys as hard as I can for the next hour, deliver some awesome stuff, and at the end, I'll share that little sneaky trick with you. And it's not really a sneaky trick, but just how we approach it, and it works really, really good. And then at the beginning, Anthony and I were talking about something. I've been working on a piece of software that automates a process that's very near and dear to Anthony's heart, which is poking or probing in that process. And at the end, I'm going to share with you guys how you guys can get that for free. So Anthony, if you would, man, please don't let me forget that, by the way. All right, cool. So grab a sip of water here. So real quick from you guys, if you would, can you guys give me some feedback on kind of what you guys are focusing on? So right now, at the beginning of the call, Anthony was talking to you guys about doing affiliate stuff. Are you doing, like client services or search engine marketing services? Or do you guys actually own your own like local businesses? So give me a 1 if you're focused on affiliate type of a model. Give me a 2 if you're focused on doing actual client type of work. And give me a 3 if you're have some type of brick and mortar business and you're just trying to learn the tactics for yourself. Okay, so mostly 2s, couple 3s actually, Anthony, man, quite a few 3s for your crew, so that's cool. That's definitely cool. So that definitely helps me out. And one more question, just so we can kind of tailor this to you. Give me a 0 if you've never been on a webinar with me before. Okay, give me a 0 if you've never been on a webinar with me before. Again, my name is Joe Troyer. Just want to understand who we're talking to. Man, quite a few freaking 0s, man. All right. So without further ado, let's kind of get this thing kicked off. So in this presentation, guys, today, what I want to teach you guys is a combination of how to build and rank your own lead gen assets. But I'm going to show you the process, and I'm going to show you how we do it. And what I want you guys to take away as well is that you guys can easily go take and apply the same process we're going to be talking about today, and you can actually do it for clients as well. Right? So basically what we're doing is we're building and ranking sites ourselves. Again, we primarily go after video and Google Maps because it's super freaking easy. We rank it and then we sell the results to clients. And we do things a little bit different than everybody else, which we'll talk about. So I've been running a search engine marketing company since basically 2006, 2007. I've worked with hundreds of clients, not like, bragging, but just so you guys know, many of the top 500 internet retailers. So Internet Retailer puts out this book every year of the top 500 basically e-commerce company. I've had the pleasure of working with a lot of these guys like World of Watches. That's who I helped rank for watches. The BBC guys, British Broadcasting Company, BBC, Pratt & Whitney, Restockit.com, and I've also had the pleasure and probably actually, to be honest with you guys, had a lot more fun and was a lot happier working with actually local and smaller companies than these Inc. 500 top retailers. So today my goal is to give you guys a ton of actionable information. I want you guys to walk away with some big aha moments. Okay, but specifically I want to make sure that you guys walk away with kind of a blueprint for where you're going next. And then I will be letting you guys kind of take me up on an offer at the end if you want, only if you want obviously, for me to help you guys along the path. Okay, so if you like today, I wow you, I give you this blueprint, and at the end of it, you're like, damn Joe, this was great. I definitely want to go after that. You can do it all by yourself. I'm going to give you so much information today that'll literally take you step by step. But if you want to work with me and my team and the community of entrepreneurs out there pushing this model, I'll give you the chance at the end of this webinar as well. So I'm going to teach you guys really what I believe is the easiest way ever to generate $2,000 per month recurring. Okay, and I have done a lot of business models. I've done affiliate stuff, e-commerce stuff, probably any type of major business model you can think of, I've been involved with. Really, this is my entire focus. If you've ever watched a webinar with me, I've probably talked a whole lot about lead gen. Okay, because this is what I do in my actual own business. All right, so I'm going to teach you guys the process today to build and rank your own lead gen sites within weeks. Okay, we're going to talk about why we do lead gen as well, obviously. I'm going to talk to you guys about how we build 90% of our business on predictable free traffic, right? And free is great, but it has to be predictable, right? Can you guys give me a 3 in the chat if you have been slapped by Google at least once? Give me a 3 in the chat if you've been slapped by Google at least once. 3, 3, 3. Quite a few 3s. Okay. So you know as well as I do that it doesn't mean anything if it's not predictable. So we need to build something that's predictable, and that's how we do it, right? So I'll give you guys kind of our system and our process to make sure that it is predictable. I'm going to basically give you guys kind of a peek behind the curtain to share with you guys how we're doing over $50,000 per month with local lead gen in this business model. And I'm going to talk to you guys frankly about what niches and cities you guys should be focusing on if you're going to go after this strategy. And I'm going to also teach you guys a little trick on how to get paid up front with lead gen before you start doing any work. Okay, understand that there's nobody out there kind of in the space that talks about getting paid up front. There's only a handful of people that even talk about lead gen as a whole and building your own asset and then selling leads from that asset. Okay, but nobody has really perfected this process, and we have. And the reason that we really go after this and we do this, we sell up front and then use that money to fulfill, is so we never come out of pocket to build a lead gen site, which is huge, right? If you don't have to come out of pocket and use your own money, you can obviously sell a lot harder and you can scale a lot faster. So to step back to 2011, specifically like September, actually what was it, October, November of 2011 is when I first stumbled across local lead gen. So up until that time, I had been doing client services work, SEO, pay-per-click management, web design, web development for about 5 or 6 years. Okay, and I stumbled into lead gen, and we had just a breakout 2 months. In fact, in those 2 months, just with lead gen, we did over $50,000 in revenue. Okay, and not only was it like a big jump in terms of revenue for us, the big thing for us, because we were doing okay revenue-wise, the big thing for us was that we were spending way less time managing the clients, okay, than before. Okay, if you're a local SEO or a local marketer, you sell services, you're a consultant, anything like that, the number one complaint is what? What's the number one complaint or problem in the business? What's the number one problem? All the time you spend with your clients, right? Give me a 4 if that makes sense to you and if you agree with me, right? How do you scale when you're at the center of everything, right? When you're basically selling yourself. Does that make sense? How do you scale? You're doomed, right? You really are, right? Because what happens? You get 3 clients, then you get slammed with fulfillment. You're the face of the company, okay? So then you end up dropping a couple clients, and then you pick them back up, but you just keep going in this sales cycle of sell, fulfill, okay? And then you hit this brick wall where you can't really go any further. Okay, and one of the great things about lead gen is you can productize your services, so you can take yourself out of the business and actually run it like a business instead of you being the face. And honestly, guys, if there's one tip that you come away from this webinar, that would be a great one to have. How do you productize your business as a consultant or local marketer where it's so attractive that anybody could sell it and it doesn't have to be you, so you can pull yourself away from the day-to-day? Cool. So my assumption, because you're part of Anthony's list, is that you guys know local marketing is big, right? Being a consultant is big. There's so much potential revenue out there. You guys know about the opportunity. And that's why you guys are on this call, right? Can I get a 3 in the chat? Right? Yeah, David said customer entanglement. You got it, man. Okay, cool. So there's no denying that search engine marketing is absolutely huge, and especially just on a local market level. And to prove that real quick, I'm not going to dive into detail, but look at these stats. Reach Local, 2016, their forecast was 77 million. Yodel, 2015, did 187 million. Yelp, 2015, 549 million. Okay, crazy numbers. Okay, there's huge opportunity in local. We all know that. Okay, what I want to talk to you guys about today is specifically a segment of that market in local. Okay, a piece of that pie. Okay, I want to talk to you guys about the opportunity specifically with lead gen on a local level. Okay, things in the lead gen market inside of local have been going absolutely bonkers, and a lot of people haven't really seen this, all right? So I want to step back for a second and kind of share some crazy things that have been going on inside of lead gen in the local level, all right? Home Depot, you guys all know who Home Depot and Lowe's are, right? Yep, household names. Home Depot acquired a lead gen company. And it's not public, the exact figure that they paid, but by looking at their reports, because they're a public company, they paid somewhere between 70 and 95 million for that acquisition. Lowe's is, again, a public company. It's not, they didn't actually report their number, but they are a $56 billion company, Lowe's is, and they just did a strategic partnership with Porch, who, again, guess what? Porch is a lead gen business, right? And so far, by my last check, Porch has raised more than $500 million. Okay, so give me a 4 if you guys agree that lead gen's taken off in a big way, specifically inside of local. Right? We all got that point, right? So there's a couple names here that you guys have probably never heard of and that nobody really talks about. And I want you guys to write these down. Okay, we talked about Porch. We talked about Red Beacon. I want you guys to write down 2 company names, 33 Mile Radius. And the second company I want you guys to write down is Leads by Phone. And phone is actually spelled with an F. It's not a spelling mistake. Leads by F-O-N-E. Okay, so Leads by Phone and 33 Mile Radius are two companies out there in the local level selling lead gen that are killing it, that nobody outside of that space has really even seen. Okay, and for those of you guys that didn't know, YP.com, yellowpages.com, right, is actually in the lead generation space as well. Okay, obviously you got Home Advisor. Somebody says, what about Home Advisor? Home Advisor is kind of an obvious choice, right? Okay, most people haven't heard of these companies. Okay, so why are all these big companies, Lowe's and Home Depot, why are they joining the lead gen game? Obviously that should be simple. There's a whole lot of opportunity, and it really is the future of our space. So those of you guys that told me that you're focused on local marketing, or just anybody on the call, give me a 5. Just be honest with me if you feel like you've had trouble selling marketing services, right? You've had trouble when you approached a business owner, even if it was a referral, right? You've ran into trouble, okay? Give me a 5 if you think that when you talk to the person, they seem kind of jaded about what you could potentially do for them. Okay, give me a 5 if they felt jaded. Okay, lots and lots and lots of 5s. I mean, the fact of the matter is, you know, talk with them, but what you'll find out is that they've all been ripped off multiple times. They've all heard stories, if they haven't been ripped off, about their friends or acquaintances or other business owners that they know getting ripped off. Okay? The second that we tell them what they do, their guard is up, right? To them, we're just another snake oil pusher. I mean, we are, right? Real quick question for you. Give me a 6 so I can put this into perspective. How many of you guys get telemarketing calls or cold emails from solicitors trying to sell you marketing services? Trying to sell you marketing services. Yep, Barry, Robert, Tony, Lyle, Tim, Randy, Paul, John, Douglas, Suzette, Drew, Rick, Jonathan. I mean, it just keeps blowing up, right? Everybody. Okay. So if you're a marketer and you're getting those emails and you're getting those phone calls, okay, what do you think it's like for a local business owner on a daily basis? Right? Where their phone number's public, their email's public. Right? How many calls and solicitations do you think that they're getting? Right? It's crazy. Okay, right? So they get calls every day from people trying to sell them some type of search engine marketing services, Facebook ads, SEO, social media, maps, pay-per-click. Okay? And ultimately the problem is that because this space has boomed and exploded so fast, it's led to a lot of dishonest people and a lot of people just getting into the business to try to make a buck. Okay, and then they didn't fulfill on their promises. And a lot of times, guys, just to be flat out, people oversold things, right? This is going to revolutionize your business, and then nothing really happened, right? Or we'll rank you on page 1, guaranteed for $100 a month. You guys have all seen those ads, right? And then it doesn't happen. Okay, so you need to stick out. You have to stick out if you want to make it in this SEO space, in this marketing space. You can't, I repeat, you can't, or you're asking for a lot of trouble, blend in with everybody else in this space. Okay? If you try to blend in, or if you don't do something drastically different, you're going to have problems. Okay, and I'm going to be really, really honest with you. Again, I've been working with local companies and search engine marketing and doing this for companies since about 2006. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be frank, most local business owners flat out suck. Okay, let me back up a little bit and talk about why and talk about what I really mean. Okay, they do suck, but why do they suck, right? It's very, very hard to manage expectations. Okay, so picture this. You approach a local HVAC, air conditioning, heating repair company. It's a referral, right? So you kind of have a shoe-in, you think, as you go into the meeting, and you pitch them an SEO package for $1,500 a month, and they've already had a couple of bad experiences with other search engine marketing companies that have already tried to sell them, like this big pipe dream, right? And not only did they overpromise, but then they undelivered or under-delivered, right? Now you're sitting there kind of holding the bag, so to speak, right? And now you have to realign their expectations. Does that make sense? Give me a 7 if you guys have all been in that circumstance before. I mean, it is not fun. It is ugly. And I appreciate you guys letting me go off script a little bit here and just kind of be frank with you guys. Okay? And then beyond just kind of the expectations being very difficult, right, with the client and getting those under control. Typically then, after, if you actually get the deal, you sell them the deal, typically there's a huge amount of kind of what we call like training or Q&A, right? You get into your first monthly meeting with the client, and if you're selling them SEO, they're like, what's a backlink? You show them a report. Here's how many links we built for you. They're like, what's a link? Dope. We went and optimized all your title tags so that your on-page SEO is better. Well, what do you mean by that? Can you show me what you really did? So what happens is you as a local marketer, as a search engine marketer, you try to combat the customer and the bad experience that they had by giving them like more reports, right? By showing them, hey, Mr. Customer, look at all this stuff that we did for you. And then what happens? It just opens up a whole can of worms, right? A whole can of worms. They just want to ask you more questions, right? And then it's just like training time, right? And a bunch of Q&A sessions, right? And then if you manage to kind of pull a rabbit out of a hat and do a good job for them, then what? Then you're at the risk of them thinking that they can hire someone for cheaper or make the decision that they want to bring it in-house. AKA, you get them great results and they ditch you. How many of you are like me and just think, hey man, if I can give this person like a 5,000% ROI with what I'm doing and I can prove it to them, that they'll stick with me. Give me a 9 in the chat. They'll continue to pay me for all the crazy freaking value I'm bringing them. That was kind of a setup question. The problem is they won't. They won't. They're business owners. All that they care about is the bottom line. Okay? If they think that there's a chance that they can get it for cheaper, if they think that there's a chance that they can put more money in their pocket, what are they going to do? They're going to ditch you, right? They're going to take up that offer. And I have so many examples of this, it really does disgust me, right? Because I've done my job. I've talked with a customer in the first meeting before I even sold them and said, hey, if I can get you here in 90 days, will you make the commitment to stay on with me for 12 months? Yeah, dude, if you can do that, we'll always work together, right? And there's a million promises. That would be amazing, right? Hit the goal. That time comes. Yeah, man, thanks so much. We appreciate all your hard work. See you later. Right? You're fired. And guys, I have some freaking extreme examples of this. Like, when you hear it, it's mind-boggling. Okay, and I'm sure you guys probably have some examples yourself. Okay, I took a company to number 3 in Google. Okay, not local, all of Google, to number 3 in 3 months. 3 months for the keyword fat loss. Fat loss. If you know anything about SEO, that is crazy competitive. Okay, why did I do it in 3 months? Because I was trying to get them to keep me on for another 9. The way that I had my deal structured back then, it was a 3-month engagement. If I hit my KPIs, they would renew for another 9. Right? So I bust my tail. I do the unimaginable, right? Guess what happened? Dude, I can't believe how much traction you got. Thank you so much. Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't really have the budget for this anymore. What? There's so many of these examples, it's insane. Okay? Another example. To prove to a client we were worth their time, I got them to number 2 in Google for their number 1 keyword that they gave me, and their primary keyword in the first month. And I'm sure you guys can imagine what happened. Right? I've literally had clients say, Joe, thank you so much for literally all that you've done for my business, right? And then tell me that they're going to be taking their marketing in-house or overseas. Okay, unfortunately, guys, this has happened to me way too many times. And if you've been in this business, you've seen this happen, and you've dealt with it over and over and over. If it's cool with you guys, I want to share with you a huge takeaway and what I learned from going through this over and over and over again. And how you guys can build partnerships that last, meaning that you guys can get clients to pay you for a long time and not ever want to go away. Okay, to not do the impossible and only for a business to say, thanks, Anthony, for all you've done. We appreciate it, man. We're going to take our marketing overseas or in-house or whatever. My cousin actually does some marketing. You know, he's going to take it over inside the company. Does that sound good? Is that totally cool? Jane says, hell yes, please. Totally cool, John says. Cool. All right. So the big takeaway, lots of money inside of search engine marketing. I mean, it is crazy. Okay? I focus on local specifically because outside of local, it's just so freaking competitive, right? You have every SEO out there. Would you rather compete with a bunch of SEOs, or would you rather compete with a dentist or a water damage company or a construction company, right? I'll compete with those guys any day versus a whole rabid gang of SEOs. So my big takeaway working in this space for quite some time. Sorry, I had to grab a sip of my tea here. Is that you have to make the pain of disconnect absolutely as large as possible. So you guys know what that means, right? Pain of disconnect. If you get a customer rankings in Google, okay, and their rankings have been steady for 3 months, right? Why shouldn't they leave you, right? Let's turn the table for a second. Why shouldn't they leave you? What are they going to lose if they leave you? Does that make sense? We need to make the pain of disconnect larger. So guys, give me some examples of some examples of making that pain of disconnect larger. What could you do inside of your business? And guys, this is really valuable stuff. So we're going to take a second here and really talk about it. Okay, again, just one little tidbit. If you guys could take this away from the call and implement it in your business, you'd all have a much more rock-solid business than you do now. Okay, own the assets, take the leads to their competitor, own the site. All right, so you guys know what we do, right? We build our own websites, okay? We rank the websites with video and inside of Google Maps, okay? We get it to rank. We set up a call tracking phone number that's super cheap. It's like $1 per number per month. So for one client, we just need one phone number. And then we forward the calls to our customer. So let's do a full example here. Okay, let's say I get a referral, okay, to a, let's say a water damage company or a restoration company. So they do restoration work. They do like fire damage, water damage, mold, things like that, right? And they want me to help them with their marketing. My pitch is sure, but I'm not like all of these other companies, right? I'm going to give you what you actually want. I'm not going to do SEO for you. I'm not going to do social media for you. I'm not going to do Google Maps for you. I'm not going to do video ranks. I'm not going to do PPC for you. I'm not like all these other guys, right? I want to be a partner with you. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to literally do all of the legwork up front, okay? And I'm just going to sell you what you actually want. What do you actually want? Do you want SEO? No. Do you want social media? No. What do you want, Mr. Business Owner? Right? What do they want, guys? What's the number one thing that they want? Money. They want leads. They want their phone freaking ringing. That's what they want. Okay? So we stop blending in. Okay, and to make that big gap, to make that pane of disconnect as large as possible, we own the asset. Okay, again, for those of you a little behind, we sell them what they want. Okay, more business and more phone calls. Okay, so there's two ways that we do this. For those of you guys wondering how we sell this? You guys wondering how we sell this? You guys want to talk about that? Because, okay, so give me a 1 in the chat if you guys want to talk about how we sell this stuff, or give me a 2 if you guys want to chat about the actual fulfillment of building and ranking the assets and actually sending them to the local business. So give me a 1 if you want to talk about sales. Give me a 2 if you want to talk about the actual fulfillment of building and ranking. Whoa, lots of 1s and quite a few 2s. All right, we'll start with number 1, and I'll do my best to go through it quick so we can get to number 2 as well. So the biggest key that I can give you guys in terms of sales is that if you can provide results in advance, and then you guys can get paid as close as possible to when the client actually gets paid, that restoration company in this example gets paid, it's magical. Did you guys get that? If you guys can, number 1, give them results in advance, meaning phone calls in advance, okay? Plus getting paid when clients get paid. So meaning you send them a phone call a couple days later, right? They get paid for the job. It's not like they have a huge accounts receivable department and they have to wait for 6 months in order to get the money in from the client that you just brought them to then pay you. Does that make sense? So they basically have that money very quickly from your services. I can tell you one thing, guys. If you are, for example, going after a niche that has a very, very long sales cycle and you're trying to sell them leads, you might as well like jump off of a cliff. And I know that sounds drastic, right? That sounds crazy. But what's going to happen is they're going to question you every week or every month or whenever it is that you talk to them. And they're going to say something like this: Joe, the leads that you've sent me, you're doing a good job. You're sending me a bunch of leads, but how do I know that they're good? Well, I don't know, Mr. Customer. What are you comparing us to? Well, I don't know. The problem is that it takes us 120 days to convert a prospect into a lead. So I'm just really nervous that your leads aren't very good. Do you guys see what I'm getting at here? If they have a long sales cycle, they're always going to be questioning whether you're actually doing a good job or not, right? Because they haven't closed the deal yet. So in their minds, all that they're thinking about is, are these leads that you're driving, Scott's driving, Jane's driving, Clint's driving, Paul's driving, Joe's driving, are these worth a damn, right? Am I going to get the return that I'm looking for? So a big, big tip when you guys are going after lead gen is focus on niches or verticals or businesses, right, that have a short closing span, right? Niches that close jobs quickly. Okay? So guys, give me some examples real quick of businesses where the turnaround time is fast like that, where you call in and within a couple of days the transaction is completely done. Give me some examples. Let's get our brains going. And if you need to, if you're falling asleep, stand up, wave your hands like you just don't care. Roofing, emergency services, moving, plumbing, auto repair, dentist, handyman, restoration stuff like you said. All right, cool. So there's some good examples, right? So number 1, focus on those types of niches. Okay? I'll give you guys one more tip here, kind of off script. Number 2, if I were you, real quick, give me a 9 if you'd say like you aren't the best salesperson ever. Give me a 9 if you'd say like you aren't the best salesperson ever. Okay, quite a few 9s. So let me ask you a question. How many of you have dealt with serious rejection trying to get through a gatekeeper? meaning you never were able to really get in front of a business owner to have a decision. Lots of yeses. Hell yes. Yep. Okay, cool. So why do you think that that is? Do you think that it's maybe, could it possibly be that you targeted niches that always basically have gatekeepers? Could that be it? Give me a 3 if you think that that could be it. So, if you're not an awesome salesperson, bet on yourself. Is it going to be easier to sell a blue-collar type of business owner or a white-collar? Okay? And is it going to be easier to get in front of a blue-collar service business or business owner or a white-collar? Which one? Which one's going to be easier, blue-collar or white-collar type of businesses? Blue. Okay? It's going to be a lot easier to talk to a person that can make a decision that's a blue collar. Okay? That's just my personal experience. If you're an awesome salesperson, if you're a fantastic salesperson, right, you are super keen with sales, then go after some white collar by all means, right? But me personally, I get along much better with blue collar contractors and clients and business owners that I work with. I find that the white collar are much higher upkeep, and I'm constantly having to resell my services. So if I can choose to not have so much upkeep, make the deal happen faster, not have to deal with gatekeepers or the alternative, I'm obviously focusing on the easy path to win, right? Okay. So let's see. Somebody says, but the blue collar, they may not pay, says Robert. It's a good point. But here's the thing, Robert. What kind of businesses are we focusing on? We're working on high converting services that close quickly, right? So even if they don't have money this second, do you think that they would pay to have 3 times as much money in 3 days? Yes. The thing about blue-collar people typically is that they're hungrier for the money too. Not in all cases, right? It's not a fair assumption to say for everybody. But in my experience, guys, this is why I go after blue-collar. Does that make sense? Give me a Y in the chat if you guys get that. All right, just to make sure that we're past client services versus lead gen and you guys are on the same page as me. Which pitch do you think would win? I go in and pitch a business owner and say, I'm an SEO badass, I've ranked for watches, I've ranked for fat loss, and I can rank your roofing website. Give me $2,000, okay, a month for 12 months. Or I walk in and say, Mr. Business Owner, here's 2 free leads for your roofing services. He actually gets one of those leads to turn into a customer, and I call him back up and say, hey Bob, how did it go with Jill and her roofing problem there in Miami? Do you want more like that? Which one do you think is going to win? Right? So results in advance and getting them results fast, right? Or the SEO approach? Yeah. Okay, so another huge opportunity, obviously, to talk about and kind of slide to the other side of the business. There's 2 sides of the business, right? There's the sales and then there's the fulfillment. Okay, we get our traffic for free. Again, I talked to you guys earlier, and I said that we focus on Google Maps and video, and that's extremely true. Okay? And it's because of a couple key factors. Okay? I focus on video because I can get results really, really fast. In fact, at the end, I'm going to give you guys some free software and show you guys how you guys can get it, where I can literally get a couple 100 rankings inside of Google, and yes, I have proof, obviously, for a local business and get them a couple calls for free with about 20 minutes of work, right? Then once they sign up, I can use that money to go build me assets that rank inside of Google Maps and bring me a truckload of calls. Does that make sense? So I do video first to get a couple of phone calls, help me sell the deal, get my foot in the door, then I get paid upfront a retainer to go build my asset and to provide them a lot more calls. Just give me a why if everybody's on the same chain, on the same page. Why? Fantastic. All right. So I'm going to give you guys kind of some examples of this here real quick. I can tell you guys, I still watch quite a few webinars these days. And one of the things that annoys me more than ever is like when the presenter shows like 1 or 2 screenshots of them doing it and proof, and that's it. So I'm going to share with you guys a bunch of case studies on stuff that we do, what we're actually making with the deals, how we rank the sites, but then as well, and probably even more important, I'm going to share with you guys some case studies of clients or customers as well, people just like you that were on a webinar like this one day, came through, learned what we're doing, and now are literally following our step-by-step processes to do the same thing. Cool. So this is a quick search in Google. On the left, you'll see Delray Beach water damage. And you'll see that listing at the top of the 3-pack or the snack pack, map pack. That's me. Okay? That's me. On the right there, Stewart water damage. The one at the top with the stars, Stewart Restoration Pros, that's me. Okay, and guys, to be frank, I've been there for about 5 years. About 5 years. So because we're getting our traffic for free, we have a huge leg up on our competition. Huge leg up on our competition. Okay, we're not spending in some of these emergency, crazy high-end niches, you know, $40 to $400 per click with pay-per-click. Okay, because our competition spends so much money, those big examples that I talked to you guys about earlier, because they spend so much money on pay-per-click, and because they have such crazy overheads because of all the employees that they have, what happens is they end up reselling their leads over and over and over to recoup their investment and become profitable. That makes sense, right? Their cost of acquisition is so high, so they have to sell their leads multiple times. Got it? Cool. So examples of these companies that do this: Porch, Red Beacon, Home Advisor. All of these guys sell the same lead to a minimum of 3 vendors. Okay, and Home Advisor, which I know the best out of these 3, will typically sell the same lead to like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 of the same contractors. Right? So let's say that you as the business owner, or I'm sorry, you as the prospect, let's go with the water damage example. So you wake up, you sit in bed, you're just waking up for the day, you roll over, you put your feet down, you kind of yawn, and you get up and you step in water. And you literally have standing water up to your calf inside your bedroom. Right? What's the first thing that you do? You go to Google, and you say water damage in your city, you're half asleep. You look at Google, you look at the reviews, and you're like, okay, this guy looks good, and you call him. Okay? Or you go to Home Advisor, you're like, yep, their title tag says that they'll suggest one of the top people in their area. Yeah, man, that looks really good because I don't want to waste any time with these jokers. So you go to Home Advisor, you fill out a form saying, yeah, man, I got freaking, 1.5 foot of water in my bedroom. Please, somebody come help me. And what happens next is within the next hour to 2 hours, you literally get bombarded by call after call after call from local water damage companies. How would you feel? How would you feel? Pissed off, right? Go away, right? I already got somebody here, right? The first guy that called me is literally here cleaning up the mess and fixing everything. Does that make sense? So the consumer that had a problem, that told Home Advisor about it, gets basically hammered to death by a bunch of contractors. But let's talk about the contractor's point of view, right? Contractor's getting ripped off. What's the contractor's feeling? Man, I just got this lead 10 minutes ago, and I haven't been able to get a hold of them for the last hour. I finally just got them on the phone, and they told me to F off that they've been contacted by 8 other companies. is he going to want to buy a whole lot more leads from HomeAdvisor? Real quick, is he going to want to buy more leads from HomeAdvisor? Yes or no? No. So the problem is that the leads don't convert very well when these companies do shared leads, right? It turns into a pricing war as well for the contractor. Okay? No contractor wants to be in a pricing war. They want to be able to get their price and make a healthy profit so that they can afford you to pay a piece of that, right? Here's a quick example of a HomeAdvisor review that I think speaks miles for HomeAdvisor. They say, out of 17 leads, none panned out. Most never returned phone calls or emails, and when I was able to contact someone, they seemed surprised or irritated that I called. Okay, so that's from Robert of Douglasville, Georgia, and Robert's a roofer. So question for you guys. Do you think that you could call up Robert and you could sell Robert exclusive leads? Give me a yes or no inside the chat. Hell yeah, in a heartbeat, right? So Robert sold on lead gen. He just didn't like having to compete with every Tom, Dick, and Harry in the market, right? Okay, so lead gen is solid, okay? And guys, we are scooping up customer after customer after customer from these big competitors with that very pitch. Okay, we can even go to HomeAdvisor, find all the people on HomeAdvisor.com that are buying leads from HomeAdvisor, and call them up and say, hey Rob, how's it going? Yeah, I just saw you listed here on HomeAdvisor. Do you have a second? They're going to be like, yeah, sure, because they're going to probably think that you're a prospect calling. Hey man, I just had a quick question. How are you liking HomeAdvisor? Duh. It sucks, right? It's better than nothing, but you know, I'm not getting much business and I can barely afford to pay for it. All right, Robert, man, Bob, how would you like exclusive leads for 10% more or the exact same price? Sold. Done. Okay, inside of our community, guys, no joke, in the last week, we've sold over 200 lead gen deals in the last week that are tracked, that have proof. Very, very, very doable. Another big tip is go after cities or areas with at least 100,000 people in population. Okay, and if I were you, I'd stay out of the very top end of the population as well. So I can tell you, like us personally, we only go into cities with like a max population now of about 200,000. So basically 100,000 to 200,000 is our rough kind of estimate for places that we go, that we go after. All right, guys, at this point, we're freaking 30 slides in. And I want to make sure you're paying attention. We're on the same page so that we can actually get into the freaking training. Okay, why lead gen? We all on the same page? We all good to go? We all still awake? Give me a 1 on the chat if you guys are ready, you guys are excited, you guys are actually interested in hearing about the sales process and how to rank these sites. All right, fantastic. Scott says, go for it, ramble. All right. All right, so the easiest 2K a month I want to share with you guys real quick. So I think that this is the easiest way to get to 2K a month that I've literally ever seen. Okay? I think it's bar none the easiest way for newbies to get started or people that have been in the trenches and actually know what the heck they're doing. Okay? So focus on high ticket and high converting niches. Okay? High ticket and high converting niches. Why? Because you'll need to sell them a couple of leads in order to make that money back. Okay? Who wants an example? Give me a 3 if you want an example. Give me a 3 if you want an example of a high ticket and high converting niche. And what as well you guys can actually charge for the leads. Okay, everybody. Okay, guys, I already gave it to you. I already fulfilled on that promise. It's water damage calls. So YP.com and 33 Mile Radius are both charging roughly $400 for a single phone call to a restoration company. $400. $400. Okay? And just for the record, these sell like hotcakes. If you talk with a prospect inside of the water damage space, and they're like, yeah, Anthony, that's just way too much money. We're not even close, bro. You just need to hang up and go on to the next one because somebody in that market will definitely pay it. So essentially, if we stick with YP as an example, YP's proposals start for their pay-per-call services for water damage at 5 calls per month for $2,000 a month. Okay, so how do I know about water damage? What makes me qualified? I've been in this niche for a very, very long time. Okay, years I've been in this niche. I showed you guys 2 example rankings a couple slides ago. Okay, for Stewart and what was it, Delray or Boca water damage, right? Check this out, guys. Check this out. Last 7 days, we've driven 31 calls that are water damage calls. Somebody do the math real quick. 31 calls at $400 a piece is how much in the last week did we make? How many? How much in the last week? Come on, I know some of you got to be good at math. Yeah, roughly 12 grand, right? So look at the total calls column. Do the math on that one. That's nasty. Okay? And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this so that you guys really understand the freaking opportunity that's out there. Okay? 7,215 calls. So when we were talking earlier with Anthony before kind of we even kicked off the call, we were talking about how, Anthony and I both don't do like affiliate SEO because the competition's just crazy, right? Why would I do affiliate SEO when I can make this amount of money driving this amount of calls and I can compete against water damage companies versus a bunch of SEOs? So the other really, really cool thing about local, right, and local lead gen, just local in general, is that it converts really, really high. So in order for me to get 10 calls a month, I only need to drive about 34 visitors a month. Okay? In the emergency side of the business, we're converting at about 30% from prospect to actual phone call. Tell me where else you can drive conversions at 30%. So 10 calls per month, even at $200 each is $2,000 a month, right? So let's say that you aren't the best salesperson in the world, but you can get 34 visitors a month, right? With all of Anthony's badass SEO training, you guys can get freaking 34 visitors a month, right? 34. Give me a yes in the chat if you can get freaking 34 visitors a month. Come on. Guys, I'm very, very convinced and sure that you could take one of Anthony's trainings that he's put out for free, just one of them, and get 34 visitors a month, right? Which is 10 calls. And even if you do a lousy freaking job at selling it, you'd be at $2,000 a month. Okay, who's interested in seeing more about this case study? More about the South Florida restoration sites? Anybody? Yeah. I'm not boring you, am I? Chat's a little delayed, I know, but man. More. All right. So cool, guys. So this is domain tools. So this is the domain registration for one of those sites. These sites, there's 5 of these little mini sites that are built out all in South Florida. And they're not in huge areas typically either. So like I'm not even in Miami. There's a whole lot more volume that I can drive, but Miami is going to be super competitive. So I just stayed out of it. But what I wanted to show you here on this screenshot is that you guys can see that This is where it gets fun. I created or registered this site when? November 30th of 2011. Okay? So, August 2013 was the last time I built a backlink. August in 2013 was the last time I built a backlink. Okay, so if you guys look from November of 2011 to basically August of 2013, guys, real quick in the chat, did I build a whole lot of backlinks to rank inside of Google? Yes or no? Rick Crombie says, I thought this was going to be about ranking in GMB. Rick, this site is ranking in GMB. This is where all the freaking calls come from, buddy. This is GMB at its best. Who else shows you case studies from GMB? No, I did not build a lot of backlinks, right? Funny enough, somebody even spammed the crap out of me, right? At the very end of that screenshot to the right. You see that? They built roughly 35,000 links to that domain. And guess what? I'm still ranking. I am still ranking inside of Google Maps. Right? I'm still ranking organically as well. Okay? So, another big takeaway for you guys that have been through all the Google algorithm updates. Google Maps has been my safe haven for a very long time. Google My Business, right? Because there's not near as many shakeups, right? They haven't had the pandas and the penguins and everything else. By all means, they've had some updates. You know, back in the day, it used to be called Google Places. Now it's called Google My Business. Used to be a 7-pack. Now it's a 3-pack. Okay, guys, when it went down to a 3-pack, my call volume actually went up. I'm not complaining. Okay? So, how many of you guys think that you can do this? That you guys could go rank a local, let's say, water damage site inside of Google Maps and do some awesome video stuff that you guys have been taught by Anthony, and you guys could deliver 34 visitors a month and make $2,000 a month recurring? Give me a yes. Okay? On the opposite hand, who thinks no? Who thinks no? Just be honest with me. Who thinks no? Okay, we got a couple no's. All right, so here's the thing. I want to run through a competitive analysis with you as an example, because I want you guys to understand that those of you guys that think, no, I can't do it, how easy it really is. Okay, so in that area that we were just looking at that case study for, right, there's 3 top organic competitors. Okay, so what I did is I went into Majestic and I grabbed all 3 of their links, right, and I took a screenshot so that I could share it with you today. And again, this reinforces why, again, I focus specifically on local versus affiliate SEO. Okay, so here it is. Here's the competition. Restoration One, BocaRaton.com. The entire domain, not the page, not a page on the site, the entire domain has how many backlinks? 1. Florida Mold Cleaning. These guys actually know what the heck they're doing. They got an SEO working for them. 853 backlinks. Okay, so that one's the outlier. Third one, ServPro Delray Beach. Guys, 4 backlinks. So I don't need to compete with this last guy, right? Florida Mold Cleaning. I'm happy just to be in the top 3. Okay, so can you build 1 link to compete with Restoration One? Can you build 4 links to compete with ServPro Delray Beach? Yes, all of you guys can. All right? This is not hard. Okay? 34 visitors a month, 30% conversion rate equals 10 calls a month. If you sell the calls at half rate, at $200, that's $2,000 a month each. Okay? I'm going to walk you guys through some keys to ranking, if that's cool with you guys. Is that cool? You know what? We got some people that are saying that they have to go and stuff like that. Anthony, man, I want to do a little shake-up on you if it's okay. Can you come back on for a second, bro?
Sure.
Do you mind if I just share with everybody kind of what I've put together for them, and then we just run back to the content so everybody can see it?
Go right ahead.
Okay, cool. So this actually, guys, obviously is not planned, but we are an hour in, and I just want to respect your time. So I'm going to come back to the content for you guys, but let me scroll down here. I'm on slide 51. I'm going to write this down. I'm just going to scroll down here for you guys. So, and I'm going to talk to you guys about what I prepared for you guys today. And I'll skip all these testimonials that Anthony was talking about, and we'll touch on them later. But we're at the top of the hour. I just want to kind of show you guys what's up, give you guys that kind of want to proceed with me and want some more training and step-by-step and want to work with me on this, the opportunity to do so. So first things first, the last time I sold a lead gen course, it was a course called Local Lead Gen Mastery, okay? And we had over 3,000 customers, okay? And it was a fundamentals type of course. It was basically, the angle of the course was looking back, what were my big takeaways and big like kind of aha moments that I'd like to share with individuals that were looking into getting into lead gen. Okay, it was not like an over-the-shoulder, paint-by-numbers, step-by-step-by-step training, which is actually what I'm going to be giving you guys today. Okay, the offer to put your hands on, right? And we sold this course for $997. Okay, and again, we sold over 3,000 of these things. Okay, so today I'm going to hook you guys up. All right, here's the deal: we're getting ready to launch this course. Okay, it's called Local Lead Gen Mastery. Okay. And the difference between this and the last lead gen course that we had is it combines the fundamental with what most people truly need, which is literally like the step by step by step by step. Okay, so step 1, go do this. Step 2, go do this. Step 3, go do this, right? So if you've ever felt like you've kind of understand high level how something works but never been able to kind of replicate it because you didn't have that step by step, don't worry, we got you covered, all right? So guys, it is truly step by step. Our goal in building this course and getting it out there for you guys is really to have a blueprint for a 6-figure scalable business that will generate profits month after month for you guys without a boatload of client management, right? That was the nightmare that I created for myself early on in my search engine marketing company that I had to position lead gen to get me out of. Okay, and then obviously as well, like I talked about, a step-by-step system to help you guys literally delegate and have somebody else do a lot of the work when you guys are ready for that. Okay, and ultimately at the end of the day, you know, for me guys, I'm a tinkerer, right? I'm a business builder. I'm going to play in this business for a long time, but at some point I want to sell, right? I want to get out and go tinker with something else. I want to go tinker with a car, my wife, or something, right? I don't want to be stuck doing something and being a slave to a business. So I think that's super important. So basically what you guys are getting is what we call our core curriculum, plus you're getting our execution maps. Okay, so our core curriculum is the foundation training. Okay, so I actually took all that foundation training that we used to charge $1,000 to get in, and I pulled it into the new course for you guys. Okay, and I updated anything that was out of date so that you guys could learn the fundamentals of the business. Okay, after you learn the fundamentals by going through this core curriculum, it'll take you guys probably about 2.5 to 3 hours to get through the core curriculum. Okay, once you do, then you'll get access to the execution maps. And the execution maps specifically is basically our ranking and site building method. Okay, and guys, this is done in so much detail, you could literally hire it or hand it to a VA like we do for $4 or $5 an hour, and they could build sites for you. Okay, and this is obviously what Anthony and Heather are going to be working on. I also brought in a friend of mine who's an expert in the water damage niche. So if you guys are interested in getting into that niche, he'll be able to train you guys on that water damage niche and teach you guys about the lingo, okay, the average customer values, and what are the important things to water damage companies to make sure that you guys can go. And I want you making that $2,000 a month, right? I want you having a kickstart into this business. Okay, and the cool thing is, with the execution maps, you guys are literally going to be able to watch over my shoulder as I build out a new empire of water damage sites. So it's basically the execution maps are a 4-week immersion series where every single week you'll literally see over my shoulder me building the site in front of you, okay, me answering everybody's question, and I'll give you the same step-by-step training that I'm going through on my screen so you can do it for your own niche and vertical too, and then you'll see me rank the site by the end of me going through the immersion series. Does that make sense? Can I get a 5 if we're all on the same page? So you guys can see, like, we have left no stone unturned, right? Cool. So somebody asked, what's an execution map? So good thing I got this slide. So we call execution maps, is our name for our step-by-step tutorial. So there's basically step-by-step screenshots and checklists for everything that you need to do. When I built this, I also built this training for you guys, but I also built it for my team so that our other team members could go run the process without me as well. And so I wasn't so highly involved in the day-to-day operations of the business. Okay? So high level, guys, that's what's included, right? The core curriculum, covering everything that you guys need to know about the lead gen business and really what I've learned since 2010, right? Plus then you guys are going to get our step-by-step documentation and systems, which is called our execution maps. And then guys, what I'm doing is we're getting ready to take this webinar and this product kind of on what we call in the internet marketing world the circuit. You guys know what the circuit means? So basically you guys are going to see a whole lot of people over the next year, really 6 months more specifically, slamming the crap, and you're going to see my name everywhere, right? You're going to be getting emails nonstop from marketers saying, jump on this webinar with Joe talking about Google My Business and lead gen, right? So before I go out onto that kind of webinar spree or that webinar circuit, I wanted to do something cool for Anthony's crew, okay? So here's what I've done. I've ripped out everything that's going to be an upsell when we go on the webinar circuit, and I'm giving it to you as bonuses. Okay, let me say that one more time because it's important. Okay, this is super valuable. Everything that's an upsell when we go on the webinar circuit, I've literally ripped out for you and programmed it so that you guys get it when you guys get into Local Lead Gen Mastery today. Okay, so you guys don't even have to pay for that. Okay, so you guys are going to get the contracts that I use, that my attorney literally writ up. You guys are going to get mind maps covering each module and handouts from each module. So when you guys go, crap, in module 3, video 2, Joe talked about this, and I can't remember how, what math he used to figure that out. You guys will be able to see that right from the mind map or the handout. Okay, bonus number 3 is basically my company's documentation on other lead gen companies in over 30 niches. So this will get your brains moving on what niche to pick and also let you guys kind of go dig in to the competition. Okay, you guys will get access to our Slack group. So real quick, give me a 6 because last time was a 5. Give me a 6 if you guys saw, or if you guys have ever been inside of a Slack group. Give me a 6 if you've ever been inside of a Slack group. 6. Okay, so a couple 7s. So Slack is the fastest growing software company out there, and it's for a reason. So Slack is basically like a Facebook group times 10. Okay, so if you ever gotten a Facebook group invitation for a product or a mastermind, you guys see the value in that, right? Continuing to comment and engage with your audience. I believe that Facebook groups don't even hold a candle even close to a Slack group, okay? So think of a Slack group as a Facebook group on steroids, all right? Okay, I'm also going to give you guys a keyword research tool for free, okay? I'm going to give you guys a free piece of software that actually will pull leads from HomeAdvisor that are already buying leads. Okay, we talked about that earlier, right? If you could call up Bob that left that bad review for HomeAdvisor and say, hey Bob, I have these roofing leads, do you want them, right? Everybody said that they could sell him that deal. Okay, so Lead Gen Prospector will help you do that. Okay, then what we did is I actually threw in some extra bonuses just because you guys are Anthony's crew. Please understand that this is not normal, and I just did it for Anthony and for you guys, okay? So thank Anthony when we're all done for getting me on here. I'm going to give you guys 4 get out of jail free cards. That's what we call it internally, okay? So let me ask you guys a question. Give me a 9 if you've ever went through a course or any type of training and you've gotten stuck and there's nobody there to help. Nobody in the community, if there is one, responds, okay? Product creator doesn't respond, okay? You ask your friends, they have no idea, and it's like, all right, well, back to, finding a solution for this, right? Everybody gave me a 9. This happens all the freaking time, okay? Well, we do things a little bit differently here at our company, right? So one of the things that we do is these get out of jail free cards. So essentially, if you get stuck, okay, the head of our client success team, Ryan Walsh, will get on the phone with you to help you get through the process, to get you unstuck. So Ryan's job, his sole job in our entire company, he's actually in-house in the office right now if I walk downstairs into his office, right? His entire job is to help ensure that our customers are successful. And when they are stuck, to help them get unstuck. That is his job. Okay, so all day, every day, he helps our awesome customers get results inside their business, right? So essentially, I'm going to give you guys 4 consults with Ryan or get out of jail free cards that you guys can use when you're in a bind. Okay? I'm running out of steam, Anthony. Bonus number 8, I shouldn't have done this. Bonus number 8 is you guys are going to get 60 days access to a platform that we call Launchpad. Okay, so Launchpad is what we use to build sites quickly. Okay, this helps us build sites faster than anybody else in the space. So we've been talking about water damage like the entire call. Guys, if I could build out a water damage site for you, okay, and I could literally give it to you. I could put it up on your hosting and it be all done and ready for you to go rank and follow the execution maps. Would that be worth, let's say, $400? Give me a 2 in the chat, right? All done, ready to rank. It's just sitting there waiting for you. And we go put it up on your hosting and everything. Would that be worth $300 or $400? Yeah, lots and lots of 2s. Okay, so guys, here's the thing with Launchpad. Inside of Launchpad, we have about 12 or 13 different verticals where the sites are completely built out from A to Z. All the logos are done, all the content's done, all the banners are done. All that you do is deploy sites, right? You put in your hosting account, your domain name, and we do all the heavy lifting for you through the software. Okay, and water damage or restoration is one of those niches. Okay, this took our site building time from maybe a couple of days to a week to about 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys 60 days access to Launchpad because I need you guys to actually be able to launch your site quickly and get some rankings, right? That's super important in the process. So basically every month that you guys are inside of Launchpad, we're going to give you a credit for 1 done-for-you niche site for free. Okay, 1 done-for-you niche site for free. And here's some examples of the sites. They're fully responsive. They've got local schema built in. They're all drag and drop, easy to use, right? And they look great. And they're all done waiting for you, okay? Here's just 6 of them here real quick. Yep, they are mobile responsive. Okay, then you guys also get the theme that we build the done-for-you sites on top of. Okay, again, it's built for conversions. It's all W3C valid. It's extremely flexible. It's mobile responsive. Has contact form integration, complete schema. If you know anything about ranking right now in local, schema is a biggie, and we'll talk about it in a second when we get back. Okay. So guys, I put together what I think is a no-brainer offer for you. Okay, and I want to talk for a second about why I did this. Okay, there's over $3,600 in no-joke value. Okay, from all the upsells that I pulled out, the local business theme, the 60 days access to Launchpad that we charge $99 a month for, right? I mean, and all the done-for-you sites. I mean, it is nuts. Okay, I mean, how long did it take me to share with you just what you're going to get, right? I didn't do that for no reason, though. Okay, I did it because you're Anthony's customer, right? And we're just getting ready to take this on the circuit. Okay, all that I ask from you guys, before showing you the deal is that when you guys go through the system and you get results, that you guys will be a case study for us. Is that cool? You guys give me a 3. Is that cool? Yep, it works off for WordPress, John. You guys will be a case study for us. Okay, understand, and I'll back up and I'll show it to you. We only have so much time on a webinar. It's difficult. I have literally hundreds of case studies already, okay, from people going through this process, ranking sites and selling them, nothing short of amazing, right? But my goal for this sales page and when we do the webinars is I don't want to have to do a big webinar like this anymore. I just want them to line up and just play all the testimonials and then decide if they want to buy or not. Right? And I just have the page scroll forever because there's so many testimonials, right? That's what I want. Okay, you guys get my kind of motive there? I'll be a Joe Troyer poster child. Awesome. Cool. So guys, here's the deal. When we take this thing on the market, we're selling it for $9.99, and you won't be getting all of the crazy 10 bonuses that we just talked about today. Okay, because you guys are part of Anthony's crew, and Anthony is so important to me, I'm hooking you guys up. So we're doing one more webinar at $697, okay? But I actually took off an extra 100 for you guys. So to get in, it's just 597 bucks. Okay, to get in, you just need to go to web1.co/prosperity, and then there's a coupon code that you guys need to make sure that you use to get the $100 discount. Okay, so you guys, when you go there, you'll see that it's $697. You need to use the coupon code prosperity, okay? So we put together what I think is an undeniable package. Anybody that really wants to get in, guys, you have everything that you freaking need, right? You have all the training that you need. If you guys need more help down the road, we're going to be there. We talked about masterminds at the beginning of this call, right? We run a mastermind, right? And I'm committed, if you guys buy Local Lead Gen Mastery today, I'm going to give you guys at minimum 12 months of updates to the execution maps. Why? What happens when Google makes a change to the sign-up form on this process, and so now our process is out of date, and you hit me up and you can't figure out how to proceed, right? What happens if Google changes something else, right? We need to be able to stay ahead of the curve as a community. Okay, so I'm also making a commitment to you guys that at least for 12 months, I will keep all of the execution maps up to date for you guys so that you guys know that you can count on rocking and rolling the system. So one other thing that I want to talk to you guys about real fast, or two, I'm sorry. If you guys still have questions and they don't get answered on the webinar, I'm going to do my best to answer all of them. If you still have questions, you guys can call us. That's something else that's a little bit different about us. You guys can reach us on the telephone. The phone number is right here, 561-841-1832. Okay, 561-841-1832. And then the guarantee. I want to talk to you guys about our guarantee, okay, because it's, again, a little bit different. We have what we call a 90-day no BS guarantee, okay? 90-day no BS guarantee. Look, I'm giving you guys this deal because I want you guys to get results, and I want you guys to be a testimonial and an advocate, a poster child, as somebody said earlier, right, for the product and for our training and our team, right? So I'm looking for people that are going to actually go out and actually use the training that we give them, not sit on the sidelines and not do anything with it. So basically the way that the 90-day no BS guarantee works is you go through the core curriculum, then you go through the execution maps, you put them into action, and if you don't rank, number one, if you don't rank and or the Local Lead Gen Mastery program doesn't pay for itself, we'll refund 200% of your investment. Okay, 200%. That's how committed I am, that if you guys just go through the program, you guys will have great results as well. Anthony, thanks, man. I got to jump back and get into the rest of the training for everybody.
No worries, dude. What an unbelievable value. I mean, no brainer, man. No brainer.
So I hope it was cool. I didn't okay everything with you with the freaking 10 bonuses, but we basically just pulled all the upsells out. They'll get everything. So there isn't any upsells when you guys go through. There's nothing, you know, none of you guys need to ask that question.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised.
Your wallet's
'cause
safe.
I'm surprised because that's what you told me that you were gonna do. You were gonna have all those upsells. So pretty cool, man.
So real quick, Dave says, for maps, what's the process to get an address that Google will approve in order to get in the 3-pack? Dave, it's in the execution maps. Okay, I can show you testimonial after testimonial after testimonial of people literally within days getting their GMB address confirmed and ranking inside of Google Maps, right? But I can't give the secret sauce to everybody on a webinar, or that secret sauce isn't going to last a long time, right? Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense, Dave John. Scott Corey says, my big question is, how can you rank in the 3-pack or 2-pack or whatever, however big the map pack is in an area where you are not present? Again, we cover that inside the execution maps, but I don't want to just keep telling you guys that. So here's the deal. To rank in Google Maps, you need an address. You can always choose to hide the address inside of Google Maps by saying that you are a service-based company and you do not service locations at that address. Does that make sense? So all that you need is an address in a city that you can send a postcard to and get the verification from. Okay, so there's lots and lots and lots of options for that, man. Get creative. Got some crazy stories I can tell you about how I've gotten mine. Okay, but we cover specifically inside the execution maps the exact criteria and the exact process that we go through for Google Maps. Hope that helps, brother. Jim says, do we have a payment plan? I'm sorry, we do not, brother. Joe, do you actually charge $400 a lead for water damage leads? We do, Arthur. Actually, I just sold one in, just sold a new package in Miami for water damage, and I sold it for $800. So that's very abnormal. Going rate with kind of our community and our crew, Arthur, for water damage is $400 to $425. The reason I was able to get so much more, it's kind of an anomaly, but there's an up-and-coming company that's growing really rapidly, and they want all of our leads at some point. And basically, he's basically called me up out of the blue and said, what do I need to do to not compete with any of these other jokers? And when I say, you know, I want all of your leads, not a quarter of them, that I can get them. So I just said 800, and he whined and moaned about it for about 10 minutes and then said, send over the contract. Scott Corey says, don't you wish you were in Louisiana now? I do, brother. That was crazy, crazy. Lots and lots of flooding going on there. Brian says, how would you integrate your program with Anthony's G-Probe? It's brilliant, Brian, right? So step one, what do we do step one? What did I tell you guys that I do step one? I rank video, right? So use G-Probe, right? Step two, go through our training so that you can have the long-term rankings with Google Maps. Use G-Probe by all means to go get quick rankings. And you guys will see inside of the execution maps, we do a lot of the G-Probe stuff that Anthony talks to you guys about because it flat out just works. But here's the big thing is that video isn't going to give you volume. Okay, it can give you some quick results, which is fantastic, and we always want quick wins. But to get volume, you're going to want to get in the 3-pack. That's the key for volume. All right. So, Anthony, if it's cool, I want to step back and just kind of do some case studies for everybody real quick.
Yeah,
and then we'll wrap
do.
this thing up. So I got to find them here. All right, so I'm going to give you guys some tips for ranking inside of Google Organic. Then I'm going to give you guys some tips for ranking inside of Google Maps. Does that sound good? Quite a few of you are still on with us. Sounds good, good. Brian says, I'm looking into insurance lead and college funding. I would run the other way if I were you, Brian. You're not playing the local game anymore then, Brian. You're playing with all the experts. Think more of a localized niche. Insurance is more localized, you'd think, but insurance leads are actually ran kind of on a nationwide scale, not on a local level. So just a quick kind of word of caution there, if you will, Brian. And that's one thing that's super cool inside of our Slack group is I'm able to give customers feedback, right? So Brian comes back and says, all right, I'm not going to go after those 2 niches. What do you think about these 3 niches? I'll give him feedback, and so will the rest of the community. All right, so keys to ranking in organic. Okay, basic on-site SEO, H1s, H2s, title tags, etc. are super important. Basic on-site SEO. It doesn't need to be anything crazy fancy. I will give you guys kind of one super tip that probably most people don't know about right now. H3s are actually outperforming H2s. Super weird, but it's the truth. So H3s are outperforming H2s. What does that mean? Okay, if you have one headline on your page, it's probably your page title, right? Your sub-headlines, right, those like column headings, don't make them H2s, make them H3s. You'll have a nice little ranking increase because of that. Local schema is uber important to ranking local. If you guys have any sites that are ranking right now locally and you guys go and add local schema to them, you guys will see a nice big bump in terms of organic rankings. Basically tells Google exactly what kind of business you're in, and Google definitely gives favoritism to sites with local schema. Keys to ranking in organic kind of continued is a lot of what Anthony keeps telling you guys, right? Social, Web 2.0, and essentially high domain authority links are super important. Okay, what does that mean? Twitter, okay, Yelp even, right? WordPress.com, Blogger, right? YouTube. Okay, guys, we've actually done some testing as well. How many of you guys are Gprobe customers? Just curious. How many of you guys are Gprobe customers? Okay, how many of you guys are Gprobe customers and you don't have a money site? Let's narrow this down a little bit. Give me a 3 if you're a Gprobe customer and don't have a money site. Okay, you're missing the boat. Okay, you are missing the boat. Just by linking back to a money site inside of YouTube, we've done testings and have literally ranked way better inside of Google Organic just by in all of the descriptions on all of our YouTube videos linking back to our main site. Okay, crazy little thing, you wouldn't think about it, right? But when you build up and you have hundreds or thousands of videos and a couple of channels and they're all linking back to you from YouTube, trust me when I say it does add up.
It's crazy too because everybody thinks it's no follow, you know.
Yeah, doesn't always matter is the thing. So it's Google at the end of the day too, right? That's the thing. And we've tested it over and over again. I'd love to see you guys check it out for yourself. But we're seeing that we get crawled, our sites get crawled more often if we're active on YouTube, right, publishing videos. And it actually does help bump our rankings. Some type of social presence is huge too. Just, it doesn't need to be crazy like every day you're posting to all these social sites like 30 times a day. No, it doesn't need to be like that. But it doesn't really make sense in today's day and age that you wouldn't have some links from social media, that you would never have a link from Twitter or Facebook or anything like that, right? How is that normal? It's not, right? Google's understanding the news and what's happening now a lot from social sites. If you have no links at all from them, it's a little strange, right? Then, you know, an old school method, so to speak, but boosting high domain authority sites where your pages are listed. Okay, so all your Web 2.0s, all your high domain authority links, right? All your social, all your status, all your blog posts, even all the local business directories that you go list yourselves on, get that URL and go pay somebody on Fiverr to go do some type of crazy link wheel with it, right, and just spam the crap out of it. And the domain authority you guys will see, and we talk about this in the training, you'll easily be able to get your page authority for that link to go from 0 to like 30 to 60 within a week or two just by doing that, and you'll see a nice bump in your rankings. Does that make sense? Did we lose anybody? Let's see. John says, do you use PBNs? If so, do you go how to find them and create them? So, John, we don't use a whole lot of PBNs anymore. I'll just be frank with you. At the end of the day, PBNs have become a huge commodity. What I mean by that is if you've been in the SEO game for a while, you know, Anthony, like even 3 or 4 years ago, man, how hard was it to buy a PBN link? Not a PBN domain, but a PBN link.
So hard.
So hard, right? Where the heck do you get it, right? Today, Anthony, how long would it take you to buy 20 PBN links today?
In a day. It's so easy.
So that's what I mean. They're becoming really commoditized. So for me, we used to, this is coming from somebody that had, you know, a couple hundred site PBN and used to get really involved in building them and staying away from Google and all that stuff, right? Hiding our footprints. And we do have some training on it and how we used to do it, but we don't do a whole lot of it anymore because it's so commoditized. You can get it for so cheap now. Why not just go pay somebody $20 for 2 PBN links? So I hope that makes sense, and that was a good answer for you, John. So I want to show you guys this quick example of boosting a Twitter account. Okay, so this is, the top example is my business partner Ben Pate's Twitter, and I just plugged it into Open Site Explorer. So you'll see Twitter's domain authority is 100. The page authority for his actual URL, right, his profile on twitter.com is 1. So after I boosted it and sent links to my profile, right, twitter.com/Joe Trier, look at the page authority, 46. Okay, so super, super fast way to increase your authority. Okay, build links, boost your page authority on these big baller high domain authority sites. Somebody says, what's the coupon code or the discount code? Randy says it's prosperity. All right, so who wants to know how to rank inside of Google Maps? I saw a couple people say, I thought we were going to talk more about Google Maps. Who wants to talk about Google Maps? Yes, 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 yes. All right, man. Here's the goods. All right, so you need to find a physical address near where you want to rank, all right? And so I'm going to give you a couple guidelines here real quick. So here's the thing. For anything that you're trying to search or that you're trying to rank for, let's do like Miami personal injury lawyer. Let's say that you guys wanted to rank for this. I would never personally go after this. Like I said, I like going after blue collar stuff. But let's say that you guys were trying to rank for this. You want an address that's in this vicinity of where this screenshot is. So we want something between basically 41 and road 953. Somewhere in here is where we physically want our address located. Okay? It used to be back in the day that you wanted your address inside of the city center is what they called it. And that's where like the main post office would be. But anymore, it can become a real nightmare to move this map for Google to take you into consideration. Let's say if you're north of here. Okay, so you want to find an address that again is between 41 and 953, right? So that you're in this same kind of vicinity. So that's number one. Okay, so you need to find an address. Okay, then we set up the website. Now obviously this can take a really long time or you can get it done really fast. We build awesome sites with Launchpad that have all the local schema that are already all optimized. All that we do is use a find and replace feature to change out the city and the state. So they already have awesome on-page optimization. And again, it takes us like 15 minutes to clone out a site and do a find and replace. Then we build citations from local business directories. Okay, so the service that we use builds 300 citations for roughly $100 for us. We then submit to Google My Business, and then we wait for the postcard to come in the mail. Okay, we put the pin inside of Google. Okay, and typically, if you're not in a huge high converting niche, you'll start to see rankings pretty quickly. Okay, so that example that I gave you earlier of the Albany mobile dent repair site, that ranked within a couple days of the verification. Okay, we just verified one, Ryan on our team, the customer success team just verified one in Port St. Lucie the other day. I think it was like a week and a half ago. The day that he got the pin from Google, we were ranking in the 3-pack right here. We do cover inside the training some other organic factors that we focus on as well. And we cover inside the course how to do actual GMB without a postcard as well. So here's a couple quick examples, guys, and then I'll go back to the offer and let you guys ask me any questions that you have. I do want to respect your time. It's getting super, super late. So Jacksonville Appliance Repair, we rank here in the A pack, or in the A spot in the map pack. So this site gets between 35 or so calls a week on average. It goes up and down a little bit, as you guys can see. But basically, this site has generated over 1,500 calls. Okay, this site's netted me over 30 grand a year for 4 years. Okay, and again, guys, the cool thing is that once you set it up, there's not near as much shaking and dances going on with Google, right? So it's pretty set and forget. I'm not saying that you won't ever have to touch it and optimize it a little bit, right? But this site, again, for example, I haven't built any links to it, made any website updates or changes for years, and it continues to ring all day long, every day. So I want to give you guys kind of one more quick thing, and then we'll end this thing. I want to talk to you guys about the return on investment, okay? Because I think that that's super important. Real quick, do we have any like real estate investors on the call? Anybody invest with real estate? Anybody invest in real estate? Rentals or single-family homes or multifamily homes? All right, so Paul, Ed, Brad, Hugh, okay, so quite a few, Patrick, Greg. All right, so guys, inside of real estate, what's a good investment if you're going to, let's say, rent out a single-family home? What kind of numbers do people inside the real estate investing space look for? Do you guys know? Yeah, 10 to 12% a year is what the aggressive ones are typically looking at, in my experience. Okay, 10 to 12% a year. The reason that I personally don't invest much money in real estate is because nothing compares to the ROI that I get from my lead gen sites. So let me give you guys a real life example. So this Jacksonville Appliance Repair site, we teach you guys in the course how to get your hosting down to roughly $1 per site per month. Okay, so I've had the site for roughly 4 years. So $48 for hosting I've paid in the lifetime that I've had it. I've paid for the domain for 4 years, that's $44. I paid $120 for citations. I spent $120 on all the SEO that I've ever done in the 4 years that I've owned the site. Okay, so my total cost is roughly $310 or $312. Okay, I sell these calls for $20 a call. My break even is 16 calls. Who is paying attention? How many calls do I get a week? How many calls are we getting a week? 30 to 35. Okay, so in the last 12 months, my ROI has been roughly 9,611%. My last 4 years return has been 38,746%. Okay, this is why I don't do a lot of real estate investing. Do I still do some because I still have money that I need to invest? Yes, right? But a lot of people ask me, like, Joe, it seems like you're doing well financially. I'm starting to get there, and I'm trying to think about what I'm doing in the future, right? Where am I investing my money? I'm like, dude, just keep investing in lead gen sites, right? Because nothing compares to this return. I've never seen anything compare to this. Beats real estate all the heck, right? What's great is that you have so little out of pocket. So guys, man, it's been a super, super big honor to be here and spend the last, hour and 45 minutes with you guys. I really appreciate all the time and all of you guys' attention, and so many of you guys freaking sticking with me until the very, very end. I'm hoping that you guys will jump inside the local lead gen mastery community, and we'll become good friends, and you guys will be a customer of ours for a very long time. We're here to support you, and we're here to build you up. Okay, your success is our success. So if you want in, again, it's web1.co/prosperity. And understand we're trying to give you guys everything that you guys need, absolutely everything. And we will be launching this and going on kind of the webinar circuit again, which means that everybody in the world will be promoting it. Just know that you guys won't have this deal later if you choose to buy through one of those guys, right? You're saving $100 today. We're upping the price, and we ripped out all of the bonuses out of the upsells, and we're just giving them to you, right, for free. So, Anthony, dude, thank you, man.
Dude,
appreciate
thank
you.
I'm punch drunk from all the value that you gave here today, and I'm really grateful for everybody that has taken time out of their day to be here. I know that we over-delivered on our promise. I hope you feel the same way. I hope you learned a lot. And I hope you get excited about getting involved in this, because this is pretty awesome. Just focusing on this is going to give you fantastic results. And just the testimonials that you have are just unbelievable. The results that you've given people are unbelievable. I've seen them firsthand. I've met these people at your masterminds. So it's good stuff. So thank you, man, for sharing all this.
Yeah, brother, man. Thank you so much, and thanks for bearing with me, man. I know it was long, but I just wanted to try to knock it out of the park for your people and deliver more than they expected.
So many great tips and so much valuable information. The big thing here, everybody, that before I sign off, and I don't want to go on forever, just one quick thing I want to tell you. First movers advantage.